So where are you based out of?
This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And folks, here we are, my second interview today, September 30th, right at the end of the month. You know what? Nothing like a nice bottle of water to put the fire out, because I got a guy on the show tonight who plays with fire. You know what they say about playing with fire. But this guy here, if we have to, we'll have the fire department on hand tonight, everything to put this guy out. Folks, I discovered him through Blood Opera, the band out of Toronto, through the live streams, and it struck my curiosity. I had to have him on my Zoom tonight, right out of the Toronto area. Folks, I give you FenyxFyer. How do you do, Fenix?
I'm doing very well. Everybody thinks I'm the Toronto area. I'm 2 hours west in London, Ontario.
Oh, you're in London, Ontario.
Yeah, but I do a lot of stuff in Toronto there. So it's always where the mistake comes from. But yeah, my actual, where I reside is London, Ontario, Canada. So.
Oh, that is awesome. You know, I'm looking forward to going to Toronto this fall for Frightmare in the Falls. Are you going to be there for that?
I am not, because Cooper asked me to, but I'm actually performing 4 shows a night on weekends at Canada's Wonderland on the Freak Show stage, Halloween Haunt.
Okay, I'm reading between the lines here. You made that answer. It's translating to me. I don't want to hang out with Blood Opera. I don't want those guys to rub off on me.
Oh no! The plan was originally to do work with Blood Opera on that, but when show calls, it's 4 shows a night at Canada's Wonderland's a great. I have my own stage, working with Bella Morte, who you may know from Blood Opera as well. So we both have a great show that we're doing. Involves sideshow, escapes, danger. It's a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that.
I've already made the threat to Mr. Max Explosion himself, because apparently they're supposed to drive the hearse into the Scotiabank Convention Center. And this is my first time attending Frightmare in the Falls, and I told Chris, I said, I might just, pull my pants down, crawl up in the hood, and plant my bare ass right on the windshield as I drive in. Or as he responded to it, can't wait to see your pressed ham.
That's awesome. Well, maybe you'll put the windshield wiper on, and you'll get a little spanking.
I don't know. I'm gonna wait. He's gonna have to turn it on, because I'm gonna wait till, I don't know. I think I might go Taco Bell or something first or something.
Oh.
And once I get on that windshield, I might have an accident.
Well, 30 minutes is all you got, pretty much. So just time it right, and you'll be perfect.
Yeah. I'm like, the poor band. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm missing, 4 shows this month with Blood Opera. I think 3 or 4 shows. But it's we always know that we have our own thing, and then we have our little collab that we do together. So it's a good fit. Max and I have great chemistry, so I always love working with him and the boys. And
you can admit it. You can admit it to me. Come on, you're missing 4 shows. Come on, I can read between the lines here. Come on, I know.
Well, I like to think that they're missing my shows.
You know what? I'm going to tell you how I come to meet them. For those anybody who that's watched my show, I discovered you through the live streams with them during
Mhm,
COVID, you know. I'm
mhm,
located in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and I have lived here my whole life, all my 49 years. And I started doing this podcast in 2015, and I had an actress on the show a couple of times named Lisa Langlois from Class of
mhm,
1984. Love that movie. And on her second appearance on here in 2017, we got talking about travel, and she asked me what was stopping me.
mhm,
So she she made me an offer I couldn't refuse. She invited me to assist her at Horrorama 2017, and I could
mhm,
not say no to that. And I'm the only one in my family who's ever gotten on a plane,
mhm.
you know, and I was nervous about it until I discovered, well, Porter Airlines is a cool airline. It's like a bus in the sky. I love that airline. Um, I
Although
let,
if you've taken a small porter plane, it's like a roller coaster that that is just like a throw up machine. So, but Porter's great. The small planes not so much fun.
yeah, I enjoy Porter, and we landed in Toronto Island, and I didn't take the ferry. I took the tunnel. And it's the
Mhm.
first time I'd seen escalators since the 80s because
Oh wow.
yeah, we haven't had them here since the 80s. So
Mhm.
so and I met Lisa at Union Station, and I went and dropped my stuff off, and then um we went somewhere to dinner, and she asked me a lot of questions about New Brunswick because she hasn't been out this way, and basically I told her there's not much here. Nobody knows where New Brunswick is. But and anyway, I fell in love with Toronto,
Mhm.
and I've been to Horrorama 2017, 18, and 19, and I went to Toronto Comic Con in 2019. I always connect with Lisa every time I go. In fact, one of the reasons I'm going to Frightmare in the Falls is because Lisa suggested it, because
Mhm.
Horrorama got canceled this year because when restrictions lifted, they just didn't have time to book people.
Yeah.
But I said I would only go if she and I could have some hangout time, because I always save all my free movies from the theater on my scene card when I go
Yeah.
down there, and I ask, do you have any movies you want to see? And I have over 20 freebies right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Lisa says she's up for it, and I'm like, okay, then I'm there, you know. So I met Blood Opera at the 2017 Horrorama, and I got their card, and that was kind of one and done in it.
Mhm.
2018, um, I went, and Lisa had called me and asked, you know, if Chris Alexander would be fine if she's just, you know, kind of just showed up and just walked around. And he said, yeah, he'd love that, you know.
Mhm.
She wasn't on the guest list that year, but she thought it might be good if previous guests just showed support. And he was down for it. And she showed up and met me there. And Blood Opera was around there, and they remembered me. And so Lisa and I and Blood Opera, we all went to down the street to a pub and got some poutine and nachos, and yeah. And 2019, I really got to know them because I'm a co-producer on a film that just got a trailer drop last Friday called 13 Fanboy.
Mhm.
And and uh and Chris had asked me if I could get their song Fanboy to Debbie
Mhm.
Voorhees. And
Mhm.
I said I would be honored. So
Mhm.
I called her. She didn't answer, so I left a message on her machine. And immediately she responded to me on Messenger and gave me the instructions of what they can do. And unfortunately, Fanboy won't be used for it, but Sean Clark liked the song.
That's awesome.
Yep. And ever since, I've kind of gotten to know them a little bit and come to really enjoy their stuff. But we'll come back to Blood Opera in a little bit later. I want to get to know you a little bit, because I first discovered you through their live streams during COVID,
Hmm.
you know, and they were nice enough to even have me shoot a promo thing for my show, and that was where I discovered you pulling weird things out of your nose and lighting things on. Please give me some of your background and
Yeah.
what led you to this career move, and where did you get these talents from, you know?
Um, well, we'll give you the softer version just because the hard version is pretty intense. But started out, I grew up in a very religious family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, grew up in a very small town called Gorey, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in Gorey, which is great for what I do. Um, but a lot of stuff happened there that probably wasn't that positive, as you can imagine in certain religions. So then, fast forward my life, you know, I was like, you're good. My dad was a congregation overseer. And so I was like basically a preacher's boy,
Mm-hmm.
preacher's son. So all the way, always on show, always had to be perfect. You know, we had our nice little perfect family that on the outside looked amazing. In the inside, it was just, you know, a lot of, I suffered from mental health from a young age.
Oh,
And
okay.
so fast forward to my mid 20s, I had my first marriage. I got married when I was 18. I had a son. About 27, I was kind of in and out of the religion, really suffering from mental health, in and out of the mental hospitals for a while because, I lose everything. My whole family shuns me. I lose everything I know, right?
May I ask you
So
a question? What
go ahead.
religion?
Jehovah Witness.
Okay, I come from a Christian household. I
Hmm.
still read my Bible, and I still believe, but I quit going to church
Hmm.
because it became too much about money.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it became too much about money. And
It's a business. It's a business.
yeah, Jesus was never about a business, you know. I
Hmm.
think that you can show love and acceptance to people without having to beat people over the head. I'm sorry you had that upbringing, you know, but
Oh, it actually, honestly, I used to really hate it, but it made me the person I am, and it gave me. I hate to say it, but it gave me a lot of the performing skills that I needed.
mhm.
So, it was, I want to say that it was all negative, but I'm the type of person that tries to look at the bright side of everything. And the bright
Yep.
side of everything was it made me who I am. And I like who I am. So it's a good thing.
We
But,
all like who you are. And Blood
well,
Opera likes who you
yes,
are.
that's true.
But
Um, but but yeah,
what
no, it's in my
yeah.
20s. I mental health. I was actually I actually fell over on the garage door opener at one point in my life, and they found me. So it wasn't just like serious like attempts of like getting. I was like legitimately I had enough, and I fell over on the garage door opener, and I like to think that it happened for a reason. So I've always struggled with my mental health, always have, and then fast forward, I kind of was lost for a long time, and then kind of got into the fire first. That's another long story, but I got into fire, and then got into learning the basics of sideshow, and then I was attacked in my hometown and almost killed, and took 17 kicks to my head, and I remember begging for my life, like I was dying, and had huge agoraphobia after that. Couldn't leave the house, and I used the performing to get out of the house and set world records as like, here's a task, let's move, let's set up, and now here we are. I'm FenyxFyer, and I doing 4 shows a day at Canada's Wonderland right now. So
You know
you
what?
know
You're the third person I've had on this show that's suffered from agoraphobia.
yeah.
Yep, you're the
Yeah,
third.
people don't realize how much stage fright I have, because it's always just a switch. but it's one of those things. It's but I love the feeling. I love that. I love the stage. I love the reactions of people. I love, I love, I love creating. So that's where it all boils down to. So I took, what I did was, a lot of people think, I face my fears in all of my stunts. So my biggest fear is water, like things like that. I always face my fear in my stunts, and it's okay to, I have those thoughts of like mental, suicide ideation and self-harm. But my show is it's a lot of how to do it safely and how not to hurt yourself. So I kind of took a twist, and my doctor loves it. Like, my doctor, I've known her for, I knew her before I started being FenyxFyer, and then she's seen my whole career as I've grown. And she said the change is just amazing. But all I did is take the negative of self-harm and turn it to a positive. And it's okay. A lot of people think that mental health and self-harm is bad to talk about. I think it's good to talk about because it's not a bad thing if you accept it and own it.
Actually, I'm going to add something to that, because you just brought something to my mind, and you can choose to do this if you want to. I'm right now, I'm on antidepressants. I get exactly what you're talking about. Remember the ice bucket challenge when that happened?
Yep.
Okay. After that happened, a new one came out after we lost Robin Williams.
Yep.
And it was for suicide and depression awareness, and it's called the Doubtfire Face Challenge.
Yeah.
And it involves taking a pie in the face, and you nominate 3 people. I did this challenge with Lisa, actually, in Toronto. I've had some of my guests do it. Nancy McLaughlin from Jason Lives did it in front of props from the movie. Sandy Johnson, who was the original Judith Myers, she did it, and her husband was dressed up as Michael.
That's awesome.
Yep. I just had James Ellsworth, the wrestler, on here this morning, and he did it, and it's something I've thrown out to people in answer to depression and suicide. And I've had a few takers on it. You should do one.
Yeah. I it's well, I have I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I have my stranger danger pie in the face stunt.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So that game, Pie in Your Face?
Yeah.
So I play that game, but I call it shrapnel in the face. So it's the hand full of razor blades and thumbtacks and all day, and it shoots up into my face, and all of the pins and everything stick in my face. So same type of thing, but the stranger danger way. Yeah.
Well, if you wanted to do a Doubtfire challenge, nominate all the people from Blood Opera, like Max.
That'd be funny.
Max and Trash and the whole bunch. Yep.
Yeah.
So I thought I would bring that up because I got a playlist on my YouTube channel that's got the Doubtfire challenges on it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
For me, it's I've accepted that mental health is a part of my life.
Yeah.
And I used to be ashamed of it. Now it's honestly, it's who I am. And I struggle every day with PTSD and anxiety and everything, but there's tools out there that can help. I've been very fortunate that I've been part of studies because of my pain tolerance and neurofeedback and things like that. And even this week I had a mother of a 5-year-old, and her son is struggling with pain tolerance. He doesn't feel things like I do. And she had nobody that she could talk to about it, and so we had a good conversation about it. And we set up a meeting so I could talk to her son, who's 5, because he doesn't understand it. But I lived with it my whole life, so it's kind of nice to be able to give back to somebody who doesn't understand it. So it's pretty interesting how life, I used to always joke around. It's like it's like, oh, and I always, when people say, oh, you're really good at what you do, or you're amazing at it, it's like, honestly, I'm a stupid guy that does stupid stuff.
You're
And
not, there's nothing stupid about you. There's nothing
yeah,
stupid about you.
but to me, it's I'm my hardest critic, right? But in the in the long run, it's like I've helped so many people, with mental health and stuff that it's I like to think that's the reason why I fell over on that garage door opener. So
Yeah. No, I don't reach out to people that I think are stupid. Like I said, I noticed you on some of the Blood Opera streams, and I was like, I should have this guy on,
yeah.
But yeah, you're like a regular Mick Foley then. Speaking of high pain tolerance.
Yeah, I've I still get stomach aches and headaches and stuff
Mhm.
like that, but the pain tolerance is, the skin tissue. I feel stuff, but not like I should.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's interesting how life is.
Tori Wilson, the wrestler, did the Doubtfire challenge as well.
Oh, did he? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And
Yeah, she.
Roddy Piper's daughter, Ariel Teal
Yeah,
Piper, did the Doubtfire challenge. So I've
that's
had a few
cool.
takers on that, and I just thought I would throw that out there
Yeah, yeah.
because
No,
you're
I'll.
talking.
I'll definitely. After the show is put out a link, and I'll take a look for sure.
Sure,
So
yeah. Just
yeah,
on my YouTube, Python's Paradise, just look in my playlist.
videos. Okay.
I don't have the Sandy Johnson one up there yet.
Hmm.
I gotta figure out how to, because she sent it to me, but I gotta figure out how to do that. Because
Hmm.
I got Jessica Campbell from the movie Election. She passed away at 38. And
Wow.
I got her before she passed, and she did a Doubtfire challenge. And but she didn't die of suicide. They don't know what happened to her, but
Yeah.
but nonetheless, I find it encouraging that you're still fighting the good fight, and you are inspiring people.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. It's some days it's you wonder why, when you're when you taken as many elastic bands as I have, and as much you're like, why do I do this again? I literally have been on stage and I'm like, oh, why am I doing this?
Well, it's like they said. They said, why did Mick Foley, who was supposed to take 3 chair shots to the head, what prompted him to take 11?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I always find it interesting when the people that ask me the why question. It's like, because I can. I don't know how to answer it really. Like, it's
I'm not asking you why. I kind
yeah,
of get it.
yeah.
It's something you can do, and it's like I've interviewed Ryan Brown a couple of times. He's a magician.
Hmm.
And he does an amazing show. I met him. He's been at Horror Realm every year I've
Yeah.
been there. And I've talked to him about the stuff he's done and got his background. But you're a different type of performer. And I want to know, what is the first stunt you've done? And when I say first stunt, one that you perfected successfully, which is the first one that you really got?
Oh, like that was like my signature, or one that just was a standard.
Like when you
So,
thought about doing this, for example,
mhm.
and you discovered, gee, I might have some mental illness, but I kind of have a way of coping with it through this. What
Yeah.
was the
So,
first act that really you got?
so first, when I first started, I did the fire. So poi, fire breathing, fire staff, fire
Mhm.
eating. So that was, pretty, kind of a progression thing. Then when I started sideshow, I only knew 4 stunts. So my show was like literally blockhead. So sticking, stuff in your head,
Uh-huh.
eating a light bulb, and the bowling ball drop, and I did the bowling ball hanging from my ear. So I did those 4 things, and I just started learning them really well. And then now I'm known as the innovator of insanity because I like to create now. So my first stunt that I created that I remember
Hmm.
was the razor blade jump. So that was where I climbed up machete ladders, and I have a bowling ball hanging from my ears, and I jump into razor blades.
Wow.
So that was the first one that it was like, okay, this is where, where it's like I enjoy creating, because it was like took a bunch of different things but the first time learning to jump into razor blades successfully without cutting yourself, it's hard to do. And so when I was learning, it's like you just don't, like, everybody thinks, oh, it's like, oh yeah, you just do this stuff. It's like, no, you actually practice this stuff. And I remember it's like a cantaloupe is about the same density as skin. And so I would drop cantaloupes into the razor blades and then finally figure out how to get everything so that they didn't stick in. Right. So, but I remember being on stage the first time, and this was a crazy story. So, you know Mysterion at all?
I know the name.
Yeah. So, but this was one of the Something Strange shows. So a lot of the top sideshow performers in Canada, Ontario at that time. This was years ago. I think it was like, I want to say 2013. And so I'm on stage and I'm about to do this, and the whole show, I was the final act, so I'm the headliner, and the whole show, everybody was competing against each other. So people like Steve Winchester, and everybody cut themselves, got hurt during this show. So there was blood the whole show, and the crowd was just amped. And my buddy Will Smink was with me. Will Smink Tattoos. He was there, and he's like, "Hey, Chris, like, you're gonna have to cut off your arm to make this crowd happy." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I'm jumping into razor blades. Like, I don't want this to go wrong."
Nope.
So anyways, I climb up. I said right before the show, it's like, I'm gonna go with no blood. So we start off the show. It's like, we've seen a lot of blood tonight. My goal is to do my entire act with no blood at all. So I like start off the blockhead and do everything. And after each time I did something, I'm like, no blood. Right. So then we get to the razor blade jump. Right. And like the crowd's ready. And I climb up the ladder, and Mysterion goes, "You turned white like a ghost up there." I'm like, "Yeah, man, like I'd never jumped into razor blades in real life. It was the first time on stage. I'd done lots of practice with it, but never actually done it, right? Except on stage." So like, it was like, I knew it could be done. But it was like in my head, I'm like, there's one of those moments like, what the hell am I doing standing on this ladder about to jump into razor blades? Like, what got me here? Like, that's what was going through my head. And the crowd's amped and everything. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, I jump. And there's a silence. And I lifted up both feet, one each other, and I go, no blood. And the whole place just erupted. It was pretty cool. So we did my whole set with no blood, jumping into razor blades and everything with no blood. It was a cool, just the way it all turned out. It was perfect. So it was a cool, but that was like the first time where it was like, yeah, I really like creating new stuff. So, and fun stuff. So and then it's kind of progressed from there. So
it's kind of like one thing Mick Foley said in Beyond the Mat. He said, because he's looking in the mirror and he's blood all over him,
yeah.
And he goes, "I hope the people out there got their money's worth tonight." It's something to do with that rush of the crowd.
Yeah.
Terry Funk has talked about it,
Yeah.
Being wrapped up in barbed wire in that match with Sabu. It's, that crowd, that rush of the crowd kind of makes the pain bypass, because, yeah.
I used to always worry when the crowd was silent. Because you think in your head, it's like, oh, they don't like what I'm doing. But then I learned they're actually processing what I'm doing. Like, their brain is actually trying to process it, because they don't believe it's true. They saw it, but their brain is processing, how did that happen? So that silence is sometimes a good thing, because it means that you did your job well.
Yep.
Because they're trying to figure out, should I clap? Should I, like, this guy almost killed himself. Should I be clapping? Should I cheer? So, and a lot of times you have to give them the permission to do that, right? So, but yeah, it's an interesting, you know, learning the audience is the hardest part of the job, I think, especially working like Canada's Wonderland right now, because you have all ages. I've got, I'm doing all this, cutting an apple out of my face with a chainsaw, blindfolded, and you've got kids that are like, right, and you have to let them know that, hey, don't try this, like, and but in their, as a kid, you can't promise anything, right? So, but knowing that's like, how far to the danger level do we want to go, knowing that, first of all, you're hired to do this, right? Like Canada's Wonderland, when I get to choose what stunts we do, and they're like, the only thing we want is the chainsaw. Like, that's what we really want in the show. So we know at that point that, hey, it's permission, game on, like, that we can do what we want. But at the same time, you're like, how much you want to traumatize kids? But it was really cool on the last show, like on the weekend, I had one of the kids who from 2019 that was in the audience, and he was like a super small little young child then, and now he's like my height. And he was like, hey, I remembered him. I said, hey, you were on my stage, like right from the audience. I'm like, you were on my stage in 2019. He's like, yeah. And so we had a conversation back and forth on stage, but he was so amazed that I remembered him, and he had grown up, but I still remembered, him being on the stage with me. So that was, it made him feel great. And, he asked for photos after, but it's just amazing how you can, have him return people that from when they were young. And I joked around, it's like, obviously I didn't stunt your growth, because the kid was like a giant now. So, but yeah, it's an interesting life.
Wow. Wow, that's an amazing story. And what's the most difficult stunt you've ever perfected? I mean, I can't imagine, the stuff you've mentioned, I mean, could you actually go higher than that? But
the one that is like that for me, I don't know if you've seen my cinder block head smash at all or heard about it.
Did you do that in a blood opera stream?
No, we haven't done it in a blood opera stream. We've done some stuff with the cinder block. That was the cinder block escape. We did that one. Okay. But this one is actually, so there, imagine a cinder block. Mm-hmm. And you know what blockhead is, where the nail goes inside your head. Mm-hmm. So imagine a cinder block with a nail inserted, sticking out the side of the cinder block. And my head goes onto that nail. So, and then the cinder block is smashed while the nail is in my head.
Wow. That was the hardest one that you perfected.
Well, because there's so many things that can go wrong with it.
Yeah, I'll say.
Right? First of all, when you get hit, it's like being punched by Tyson in the head, inside the head. So it's like inside your whole head just rocks. And then, but if anything goes wrong, the cinder block shifts, or the stand that it's on shifts, that nail is going wherever it wants inside my head, and it's right up against the back of the skull.
Oh wow.
So that one took a lot to figure out how to do it, because you have to have the nail placement, has to be perfect. You can't just put it anywhere in the cinder block. You have to have it in the right spot so it doesn't move when it's being broken, things like that. Like, there's so much can go wrong with that stunt. But that's one that's probably my most dangerous stunt that could kill me like instantly on stage.
Well, I hate even to ask this question, but
yeah.
But have you ever had any accidents?
I have. I've the shark hook through the wrist, 5-hour surgery, 3rd-degree burns to 20% of my body. Fell on a better razor blades instead of, in my head, it was like, I'm falling. Do you make that choice? Do you fall on all 170 of the blades, or do you choose one? So all the weight went on one blade. And I heard that. If you've ever had your skin pop, the sound is amazing. It's like almost like a balloon popping, but it's your skin.
Oh,
As all the pressure, it gets so far, and all of a sudden it goes pop. So that one was a surgery. Trying to think what else. I'm on my 40th broken bone now. So
are you gonna get Mick Foley beat?
no, I you can't beat the master.
Because Mick Foley on the back of one of his books has his body and like a little diagram with little lines of where all the broken bones are. It's like jeepers, lines everywhere,
Yeah. The staple world record was a challenge. That one was not fun. I remember doing, actually my friend, we were talking about it the other day because she was there doing the most cattle prod strikes in 60 seconds, that record. I actually lost my short-term memory for 3 days because of the electric shocking of it. Wow. So we did 59 cattle prod strikes in 60 seconds. So, and you figure cattle prods, I don't know if you know much about cattle prods and that, but that's on amperage instead of voltage. So it's a it. And that record was in because a cattle prod is made to move cows, and it does it very well. So for a world record, imagine standing in a 12-inch by 12-inch box. If you step your foot out, the world record is over.
Okay.
So you have to stay perfectly still while you're taking all these cattle prods, and not, which his job is to move you. That's why they're called, animal movers. So that was an interesting one. Yeah.
Do you got any stunts that you're working on now? Like actually, I should, before you answer that, how does an idea come to you? Like,
it happened last night. So I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So if you ever want to see the secret stuff, take my phone and go under my name, because I text myself my ideas.
Okay.
So it's just list and list and list of all the ideas that pop into my head of stuff that I want to make, do need to make, or have an idea. Is it possible? So last night was so I'm lying in bed and I'm working on a water escape right now, and it's pretty cool. And so I'm lying in bed, and it's like all of a sudden it's just like a vision that I saw, and it's like type. Okay, now it's time to make that happen. So it just kind of, or I'll be walking through a store and I see something. It's like, that's how the jigsaw blade blockhead came to be. Was I saw a jigsaw blade and I knew people were doing, drills and stuff like that. And it's like, I wonder if. And then from there, it's like Lee Molson, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's my good buddy and knife thrower in the show. And I was like, we got talking, and it's like, hey, can we make this? And so anyways, next thing I know, we're building this thing. And then he was like, there's no way you can actually do a real jigsaw blade. And I'm like, no, there's got to be a way. So now I actually do a real jigsaw blade using a brain surgery saw, like, one of the bone saws. So I'm doing it like a full version with a bone saw, and it's pretty cool to watch. But another one that was really cool, same with Lee, was where a fire blockhead nail. That was the one that was just, we were talking about, I wonder if it's possible. And then next thing you know, we're building this thing, and we succeeded, and there you go. It's just kind of, it's just kind of conversations. And, I miss my friend, my best friend, Jason King, died this year due to cancer. And it's tough because he was one of my prop builders as well. And we'd be just talking. He was always the worst for putting an idea in my head that he knew that's unattainable. And then next thing I know, we're doing it. So it's, but yeah, it's all, just trying to figure out how to make it entertaining is the hard part,
Mhm.
right? So, but yeah, I enjoy it. I love traps. I enjoy, all that stuff. It's fun to just do stupid things.
Well, I guess the jigsaw killer and the saw has nothing on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been a one that everywhere you go, it's kind of weird.
Hmm.
Like for things that people expect to see in the show is the jigsaw, and people expect to see the elastic band. It's like people just you be getting known for doing them, and now if you don't do them, people are like when they want to see it, right? Because
Yeah,
that's. But I always try in every show to try and do it, even if it's the same stunt, do a little bit extra to it. So
yeah,
you know, but
yeah.
it's I enjoy what I do. I guess
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. I enjoy what I do.
Well, when I reached out to you, like I gotta tell you, after starting to go to Toronto, like it's weird because I always got homesick leaving Fredericton.
Yeah,
I go to Moncton or St. John and I get homesick. How weird was it when I first went to Toronto? I didn't want to come home. You know,
yeah.
I had so much fun in Toronto. And one of the things I was doing this year, like I started doing these on Zoom. Our station finally just opened. I used to book
Hmm.
these at the station, but I'm like, this is kind of cooler, because I don't have to book in their studio. I could just do it right
Yeah.
here. But anyway, I did a lot of interviews out of Toronto this year because I miss it that much, you
Hmm.
know. And I had the blood opera. Well, I had Max and Trash on here,
Hmm.
all in costume.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait,
I
they're not real?
can't spill the beans. I just know Trash is lovely.
Yes.
I don't know what to think about Max and his spiky dog collar and his mohawk and his really bad skin, and
Yeah. He always tries to hump my leg. I don't know what the problem is with him.
when he humps your leg, does Rip Junk hump the other one?
Actually, they Rip always ends up pulling stuff out of his pants every show. We end up doing something. So
I had Rip on here separate this year because of COVID. They couldn't all get together.
yeah.
I had them all on together in 2020. And right now, I'm waiting for my brother to be, he's the one that's my tech guy,
Mhm.
to get those interviews up so I can present them. Whereas on here, it's easy with Zoom, but the first time I had all of them, I believe, and that was just by phone at the station.
Mhm.
This year I had Max and I had Trash and sitting on their shining carpet couch and talking to me. And so I saw this video, and this is what prompted me to reach out to you, where it involved you pulling something out of your nose and something appearing on a knife that Max had.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, I should reach out to FenyxFyer.
Yeah. Yeah. That was our commercial that we did. That was for one of the Blood Opera shows. So that video actually never made it to one of the live streams.
Yeah.
So we figured we release it after, and but yeah, that was a fun time. I always love. So I don't know if you know this about when we do our live streams together.
Uh-huh.
So it's always like Max is always like, so what's gonna happen? Like I need to know what's gonna happen. I'm like, don't worry. Like, and I get busy. I get him busy on something else
Uh-huh.
because I love the reaction of him not knowing
Oh yeah, yeah.
right? What's going to happen? And so it's always like, like I'm like, yeah, it's going to be safe, Max. Don't worry. Like, we're going to do this, this, and this, and this. And then I totally change it on him. So he like, I don't know if you remember the when we did the tribute to Black Christmas,
Yeah,
right?
I connected him with Lynn Griffin on that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Lynn Griffin, right? So we did the tribute to Lynn Griffin with the bag over the head,
Uh-huh.
right? And he was like, at first, it was like, yeah, so we're gonna put a bag over my head. We're gonna do the escape, blah blah blah. He didn't know that we're gonna cut off the air of the bag and tape it around my head, right? So that the reaction that we got out of him is real, because he was just like, oh, like we're actually doing this, like we're doing this, right? And it's just great because he gets so excited, right? But it's always usually me, like I'll tell him like, yeah, so this and this is gonna happen, and don't worry, like, and then it's like then I level it right up on him, because in my head it's just I love watching the panic in him, like it's so funny because he just gets, but it's great to see, like he's such a great character, let's put it that. Yeah, Coop's a character for
Well,
sure.
I remember in that video I saw that prompted me to reach out to you. This is one where you say, "Oh, it's touching my brain. It's touching my
Yeah,
brain." And I remember you asked him if he had a brain. He
had a
goes,
brain.
"Yeah," and he goes, "Oh yeah, right here, fucker."
Yeah. Yeah.
If I had have been there, I would have said that's a trick question.
Well, I did it on purpose, right? So because you can clearly see it.
Yeah.
So
Holy cow.
yeah.
I ribbed them bad this summer. You see, I had my 2 vaccine shots.
Hmm.
I got my first one. I was fine. The second one I got was an interesting day because I had to get a new car because my
Hmm.
old car stalled going down a busy street.
Yeah.
And I managed to get pulled over into a parking lot. I was lucky. And the mechanics couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I had to get a new car. So I got my second shot, and all I had was a sore arm. So I was very fortunate. My supervisor was wiped out for 2 or 3 days. So I
Yeah.
got to call her and leave messages asking why she wasn't at work. And well,
Yeah.
here's a story for you. Um, Chris's mom is on my Facebook page.
Yeah. And
Yep, Anne is.
yeah.
I've never met her, but she's very supportive. And
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
yeah, and when I got my second vaccine, I said, I put on Facebook, "Oh, I got my second vaccine shot. I did it for Toronto. I did it for you folks for Toronto, so that I could come and visit." And she responded, and she goes, "Good for you. Max and Trash got theirs today." And I'm like, "Awesome. Well, Chris made a mistake. He put on, I went on Facebook. I usually clean at night. I'm fine tonight, but
Yeah.
I was looking at on Facebook one night and on my break, and notifications from Napoleon Wilson said the this second vaccine shot really wiped us out.
Yeah.
So I got my phone out because I have his number, and I left a voice message. Actually, I left about 12 of them.
That's hilarious.
And I said, your comment on Facebook, it's the wrong thing to say with me watching.
Hmm.
And I must have sent him like a dozen, and I still got them on my phone, a dozen messages ribbing him. I said one time, I said to them, I said, "Gee, I thought Blood Opera was tough. Oh, by the way, the Backstreet Boys are wondering why you're not as strong as they are. They all got the double shots. I don't
That's
know."
hilarious.
And I would just rib them. I one day I said, "Hey, you guys up? You guys still laying around? The Backstreet Boys come by jogging. Wanted to know if you would join them, but no answer."
That's awesome.
I left them a bunch of messages, and I forget everything I said. I said, look, hey, I'm at work. Are you still home? Are you guys still under the weather? I would actually, Chris was sent me a message back saying he got the biggest kick out of me laughing about their condition because I would laugh at them and the stuff I would say, and it didn't bother him, because I sent him like every night I get home from work and I'd
Yeah.
be sitting in my car with a Tim Hortons tea, and I'd be like, what can I say to them tonight? I remember one time I said to them, I said, remember an American Werewolf in London? Remember when, he got bit by the werewolf? That's kind of like COVID, and he had a reaction and he changed. But the following day, he woke up in the zoo naked and he went on his way. Why is it he still goes doesn't take the day off, but you guys do?
That's hilarious.
That was the height of what I did with them, and I left them constant messages,
That's hilarious.
And just recently, I asked them about a song that I think Taya Munster had playing on something, or maybe it wasn't Taya Munster, maybe it was Napoleon. It was called the I forget what it was called now. It's on the tip of my tongue. And I left them a message. What's that song in the background? I'm kind of interested in that. Anyway, I get this voicemail. It goes, hey, Greg, how you doing? That song is blah, 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 blah. And he said, as you hear in the background, I'm taking a shower and blah, 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 blah. Don't tell me that. Immediately, I have a voicemail back. I say, did you scrub your balls? Did you loofah your ass?
That's hilarious. Yeah. See, and all I get when he came over last time and he's like, I need a lawnmower. And I'm like, well, you can take that lawnmower with you right now. We do the domestic life over here whenever he's over. So he's yeah, they're hilarious. Esther's all. Have you met Esther?
I love Esther.
Yeah.
She reminds me so much. I got a picture with the band at the last Horrorama, and it's me, Chris, Esther, and Mr. Junk, as I like to call him. And Esther has her tongue going between a couple fingers, and she reminds me so much of Avril Lavigne. It's not funny.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love it. I think Esther's beautiful.
She's an amazing human, and to put up with the crap that he puts her through. God.
The interview, I should send it to you. The interview I did on Zoom. The other one's not ready. The one I did in 2020, because it's done. It's not done on the Zoom like this, so my brother hasn't gotten around to putting it up. But the stuff that they say during the interview and stuff, was hilarious. But it's actually, here's another thing I ribbed him about. This is funny. Speaking of Esther.
Yeah.
I think it was Valentine's Day this past year. And I said, Chris, what are you getting Esther for Valentine's Day? And I went blah, 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 blah. Well, I think I put the idea in his head because he texted me a picture of just his hand was holding a little basket, had Kinder Surprises and a little bunny, and Esther is like trying to hide her face. He said, this was the best I could do. And I'm like, yeah. Thanks to the Romeo that I am,
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
no, it's he just knowing Cooper, it's like, oh God, I can't imagine but I'm sure it goes both ways. So
yeah, I absolutely love him, and I love Esther. Love Esther and Mr. Junk, as I like to call him. I was Jordan, but I like to call him Mr. Junk.
Yeah.
Actually, when I leave the voice messages, I always say, is Mr. Junk laying on your front step? Is he laying there? I don't know the other band members right off the top of my head, because it was always those three I see, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
We it's playing with them is a lot of fun. Although it's usually in the green room. It's a lot of stress because getting their makeup on it's a chore. So
they wanted to wear their makeup and stuff when they did the Zoom with me. So it was you know, Max and Trash sitting there on the couch, you know, and it don't matter what Esther puts on, she looks great. Yeah, but they were all done up there, and it was just cool communicating with them, you know, and talking with them. And like I said, Chris he's got such an energy to him, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's weird. Everybody's always I'm fairly constant, but when I get on stage, it's like a switch. Like I'm pretty like low key, and I'm a facts person. It's like this is the facts. Let's stick to them. Like I'm very factual, so everybody finds that interesting about me. It's like I like details. I like you know. I'm not a big partier. I love details, like this little things that mean so little. So
well, I saw the streams. Before I saw the streams, I did see Blood Opera on some of their concerts when I was in. I saw them the 2019 after party for Horrorama, and they did a performance before the two Demon screenings, Demons 1 and Demons 2. Ryan Brown did a performance. I went with Lisa, and it was a snowstorm that night, and we missed Ryan, but I have seen Ryan perform before, and he's amazing. We did catch Blood Opera, and one of the things that really stood out to me is Max got off the stage and before the set, and he come up to Lisa and I and thanked us for showing up, because due to the storm, a lot of people didn't, you know. And I just thought it was cool that they did that, you know. And the second time I saw them perform, I wasn't originally supposed to. You see, I was getting ready to head to the airport to go home. And when I got to the airport, I realized I couldn't get in my luggage. I had all them. I'm like, where's my key? Where's my key? It's not on my belt. Where's my key? And they had nothing to break no bolt cutters. So I ended up missing my flight. And
next time, call a certain escape artist.
yeah. Well, when I had to go back to where I was, which thankfully I was able to get in, and I got this person at the front desk to bring me up some bolt cutters, and I cut the bolts, and there was the fucking keys inside the suitcase. I locked them in there. I didn't even know
Was it your standard TSA lock?
Yeah, and well, I won't use those again. But
well, here I'll grab you a standard. I will show you how easy it is to get into a standard TSA lock.
Okay.
So I don't even have a key. I'm just going to use this file.
Oh, wow. Well, mine were a little
next time, give me a call.
I'll give you a call next time. Yeah, but that was the situation at hand. And anyway, I was there till Sunday. I was supposed to leave on the Friday, and ended up leaving on the Sunday. And but you know what? Those extra 2 days ended up really making my trip extra special, because number one, Lisa was gonna go to a Christmas party, and she called and invited me to go. And I was like, that was awesome. So I got to do that because, I called her and told her, I'm here for an extra 2 days because of this. So I thought it was cool that she invited me to that. And the other thing, I went to Drunken Cinema to a screening of Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And Blood Opera performed at it. In fact, I answered one. I could have answered all 3 trivia questions on that movie, and but I only answered one because I wanted everybody to have a turn. But I got free tickets to see Terror Train that December. But I mean, I was going to be back in Fredericton, so just kept a ticket as a memento. But but all 3 trivia questions, I knew the answers, and everybody was fumbling them. But I saw Blood Opera perform that night, and that was pretty cool, you know. So and I'm looking forward to seeing the Frightmare in the Falls, and I've already threatened to climb up on the hood of that car and press my ass cheeks on their windshield.
When are you getting down? When you get down? Are you?
I'm leaving on the 28th of October.
Okay.
Yep. And I go to Frightmare for the 29th and 30th.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave Toronto on the 4th.
Okay.
Yep. And I don't know what Lisa's gonna be doing, but I always try to spend a lot of time with her because she's become a really good friend.
Yep.
So if she's around, I'm probably going to do some stuff with her. Last time, like for example, we went to the aquarium.
Yep.
And like Lisa, I owe a lot because number one, she took a chance on inviting me to Toronto to assist her at this event. And I was like, cool, like I couldn't turn that down. But she did more than that. You know, the Friday before she went to pick up her pictures and stuff, I went with her that day because number one, I could help her out, but at the same token, I could see more of Toronto. And she taught me the ins and outs of the subway. She taught me about the streetcars, you know. She taught me a lot. So Lisa's somebody I love to connect with when I go there. So I'm hoping she's around this time, and she's hoping she's around because I'd love to see her. But I do know that when I go to Frightmare, Blood Opera is supposed to be there, and I'll get to meet Taya Munster for the first time. You know who I had on here. You ever met Taya?
She's awesome. Oh yeah, yep. I've met Taya quite a bit. She's awesome.
Taya, yeah.
But yeah, you should. Well, if you're down on the 31st in Toronto, come down and see the show at Canada's Wonderland. We're up four times a night, so it'll be. I can give you details of that. You can bring Lisa.
Sure. Yeah. Canada's Wonderland. Okay, she'd have to show me where that is because I don't know.
It's in the Vaughan area, so Vaughan, Toronto. But yeah, no, it's been it's weird. I was just talking to Cooper recently. We got to get together and do some stuff because now that we can all get together again, we're all dying. We've got lots of content to get out there. So
you want to get together with them?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually somebody gets hurt, and it's not me when I'm with them. So.
Oh boy, I helped them on their live streams, you know, because I connected them with Lynn Griffin for the Black Christmas one, and for the prom night one, I connected them with Paul Lynch, the director of the original prom night, and they had a really nice connection. And I had Paul Lynch's number, so I called Paul and I told him about it, and he was all for it, you know. And
well, it was really cool. Paul Lynch, we got a message after, and it was really cool because I did all Sadie and I did all the video for that one and all the like editing, and we got a message from Paul Lynch saying he loved how it was put together.
Oh, Paul's wonderful. I've had him on there 3 times. He shot a movie here too, Frozen Assets with Bo Derek. He shot here. Like one of the few people that knows where Fredericton is.
Yeah, but no, it was just cool that he took the time to message and you know, is like, you know, he asked how long I've been doing it. And I said, well, really out of necessity during COVID, but he was super nice about it, and it was a good
Oh
feeling.
yeah.
But it was all just like, you didn't have to do that. But yeah, super great guy.
Yep.
So
And Chris asked me to shoot him a video promo for my show,
mhm,
which I did, and they put that on there, and I was like, you know what, that was just really cool.
mhm.
Really, really cool. And I've discovered a lot of talented people through them,
Yeah,
like yourself. Like they hang out with some pretty cool people.
they do. They do. I actually knew Blood Opera before they knew me, because I'd been going to shows.
Hmm.
And but then it was we got a chance to work together with the Electric Dead. I don't know if you know who the Electric Dead is.
No.
Good band, really good band to listen to. But we all did a show together, and from then on, we all just got along famously after that. So, but yeah, it's I'd worked with Blood Opera a few times, but that's the one where we're really like, it was like, you know, kind of like, okay, let's do some stuff and have some fun. So I can't wait to get back in the studio with them. They always joke around that's I always joke around that when I die, I'll get my FenyxFyer character for Blood Opera and the mask and everything.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love those guys. I'm looking forward to seeing them. And yeah, have you done the convention circuit?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we did the after party for the last horror show in Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
We did the after party together for that. But yeah, I've done, I do like Shock Stock and all those, like, all the Shock Stock guys and all
Mm-hmm.
the horror, I do a lot of tattoo conventions as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Do you have a Max tattoo on you?
No, but I should get one. I should get one. Yeah. I'll make it do like stuff it doesn't want to do. So I have a couple tattoos of my friends on there. That's a good idea.
Get Max and Mr. Junk.
Yeah, I get junk on me.
No, what is your favorite convention?
That's a tough question. Honestly, I really, they're all, I don't know. It's the one I've been to the most is obviously Shock Stock, because it's in London.
I've never done that
But
one.
oh, you should. Shock Stock is a really good convention if you're into horror and B
Uh-huh.
movies and stuff like that. It's really good. Um,
Well,
I've been,
this is my first Frightmare. I've done 3 Horror-ramas, 1
yeah,
Toronto Comic Con. This is my first Frightmare, so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Frightmare is good. But yeah, and I really, I'm, just because I've been associated with Shock Stock so long, I like, it's a really good one to check out.
Well, here's a question.
Yep.
Have you ever got to perform anything from your act for any of the celebrities at any of these?
Oh yeah, yeah. I did the uh, after party for with the original cast of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I've interviewed 4 people from that movie.
Yeah.
I've had Terry McMahon, the meat hook victim, on here twice.
Yep. Yep.
I've
Terry
had
Terry and I are very good friends from when because I was in their booth and when we did, it was in Niagara. And so
I've
Terry
had
McMahon, I did
yeah,
the after party, and it
John
was funny.
Dugan. I've had him. I've had Ed Gwynn and Alan DeZanger.
Mhm.
What was your Terry McMahon story there?
Oh, her and I get along famously. We talk quite a
Yeah.
bit. We talk regularly.
Yeah.
She's super amazing, and yeah, it was. She's posted a few pictures of stuff I've done, so that was kind of cool. I got to perform twice in the same day with Candyman, and
Okay.
he tweeted my show, which was kind of cool. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. Done a lot of cool stuff that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What celebrities did you meet that just blew you away?
Terry McMinn. Yeah,
Terry's
she's one that.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Naomi Grossman. I really liked working with her. I spent a booth with her She's really cool to work with. Super nice, like just a super nice lady. It's hard to say. Everybody's so different, right? I don't know. My ultimate remembrance of getting to perform for like my heroes and people I look up to is I got to perform for the Detroit Bozo before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Bozo the Clown, which for me as a circus person, I collect Bozo memorabilia, and I got to perform for him, and he was super appreciative. He said he loved my show, and it was really cool.
Now you're friends with Max Bozo.
Yeah, Max the Bozo. He yeah, you need to make a punching bag of him.
When you performed with the Texas Chainsaw folks, was that when Gunnar Hansen and Marilyn Burns were still alive?
Yep.
Oh, talk about meeting them, because I started this after they had passed.
Amazing people, super nice. Gunnar was he's like literally a big bear. Like just we kind of had a lot to talk about because they had a very religious upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a lot about mental health and religion and stuff like that. And we all stayed in the same, like, we were together for the whole weekend, right? And then I performed the after party. And it was cool. It was a sad day when both of them passed away.
Did you do the chainsaw stunt in front
no,
of?
No, I did. I literally did fire. I would have loved to.
Yeah.
It was basically just a fire show. So it's still like, in the cool of things that were just amazing to do is, to get to perform for Gunnar and Terry and all of those people were just amazing. So it was,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I haven't met any of them in person, but I've interviewed 4 of them, and Terry's been on here twice. And yeah. So
yeah,
I like that first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. Although I got to admit, Alexander Daddario in the last one, easy on the eyes. I'll say that.
yeah. But no, it was quite the experience. I've got to perform for quite a few people, but those are the stick out ones, obviously.
Did you ever, speaking of fire, look at that, I got a kitty.
That's my Sphinx. Yeah, it's my Sphinx. Come on up here, Bastet. Come on up here.
Oh, is it a hairless cat?
It is.
Oh, wow.
This is Bastet. Hi. Say hi, Bastet.
I've seen Dr. Evil with one, on Austin Powers. Where did you get that?
She's my little baby. This one's from Russia. She's from Russia.
Wow.
She's a little Russian baby. And she got her own little passport.
Yeah.
She had babies recently. So
yeah.
She had her first litter, but she's my little cuddly baby, even though she looks like it. Now she wants up, but she doesn't want to be. So.
Oh, look at that. That is so cool.
Yep, she's a little cutie. She's beautiful. Although she's a little monster. She loves to tear holes in kitty litter food.
Now, do you let the cat around Blood Opera?
Oh, they the last time Max loved her. So they're very, it's like a velvet Elvis painting, super soft.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, just a second. I'm just luring my cat over here. Yeah. There we go. He's got some hair though.
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
Kitty has a hairless cat.
Yeah, look at.
Look at that, Kitty. Look at
that. Oh, I know. So, but yeah, she's my little baby.
Yeah. There's my Skittles. Freeloads here doesn't help me pay the rent. Won't get a job.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So what, I know you got the Canada's Wonderland thing coming up. Anything else that you got coming up that you want to promote?
Performing with Electric Dead
Mhm.
on the 26th of the month. I got a bunch of shows, private shows this month, but yeah, going into a bunch of filming over after that for a while,
Mhm.
and a bunch of projects I can't really talk about due to non-disclosure, but
Yeah.
keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. It's going to
Yeah.
be some fun times. So, and working on some crazy new stunts. So
Oh,
stuff
wow.
stuff that it's like I am excited about. Where it's like, oh, that's cool. Even like that, if it scares me, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, there's one stunt that I'm doing that it just it's so exciting for me.
Mhm.
It's like a basically Jesus take the wheel, literally. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. So
yeah,
you've done all this creating during all the lockdown and whatnot.
yeah. Now it's time to build props, built a bunch of big props, and
Mhm.
now it's time to let's do this. So
Well, Chris also does makeup effects and stuff like
yep,
that. Do you go down there and do you do anything with him with that?
not really. We always talk about, but I build like props, like,
Mhm.
like physical, but he's talented in his own way. So, but I would love to learn it and make
Mhm.
something of really cool. Like I like making stuff, but it's we always just end up talking about shows and
Mhm.
performing and that stuff. Kind of keep it all separated, right? So
Yeah. Well, he's got Allie Chapel working there, and I met her way
yeah,
back in 2017, and I had her on here this year, and
yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to
She,
seeing her at Frightmare.
yeah, she got to staple my face. She was pretty excited about that. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing her. She's gonna be wearing the. Did you see Necropolis Legion?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, she's gonna be wearing that apparently, that outfit
Oh
at
wow.
Frightmare. And she
Yeah.
told me that she used to feed actually I saw a video of her feeding potato chips to those little mouth things on her nipples.
Yeah.
And one of the voicemails I left for Max was the dentist is not gonna like the tr- uh the work on those teeth and on that piece. So I
Yeah.
gotta bring her something little more nutritious. So I think I might bring some mini wheats.
Yeah.
Bring some mini wheats. Say, here, have some mini wheats.
The sugar side or the healthy side?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah. Anything, any charities or whatnot you want to plug on here?
um Been doing a bunch of work with Athlosa. Obviously, you know obviously today is a good day to talk about that, but
Hmm.
they're a indigenous charity that I've been working with a couple times recently,
Hmm.
and I always mental health.
Yep.
And then I always Toronto Sick Kids is one because they saved my life as twice now. So I was a premature baby. My lungs collapsed and
Hmm.
spent the first 6 of my life, or 6 months of my life, in a little incubator at Toronto Sick Kids, and they saved my life then. And then when I was 16, I had my sternum removed, and so I spent 6 months again. I spent a year of my life at Toronto Hospital. So, but that's always a charity I always try and support. So, but yeah, those are the ones I usually do recently, and in history of the past is always, Sick Kids is a big one for me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sick. Do you classify Blood Opera as sick kids?
They're a cross between mental health and and Sick Kids. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Can you classify blood opera?
well, I'm gonna tell you, I was very happy to watch those live streams. I love the fact that they did that, were able to do that without having to put anybody in jeopardy over COVID, because
Yeah.
Fozzy, the Chris Jericho band, certainly did not follow that protocol.
No. Yeah.
Nope. And I heard Jim Cornette, the wrestling manager, just come on to them about that. In fact, I think it was the name Jerichovid that was thrown out there. But I love the fact they were able to get in their costumes, Blood Opera was, and do this and do these little segments, with interviews and whatnot. And of course, they featured you, and that was where I first
Yeah.
saw you.
Well, I'm glad that we got to meet that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yep. I encountered a lot of interesting characters through Blood Opera, So
Yeah.
yeah. So very, very happy to meet you, have you on here tonight, and I wish you the best,
Thank you.
And I'll say this as a Christian, you are very inspirational, and you'll never get no judgment from me, I'm happy to know you, and it was just
Perfect.
an honor to have you on
Thank
here
you.
tonight,
I appreciate that, and I look forward to when you get down here sometime in the future to meet in person, not this Zoom reality.
We gotta meet somewhere and sit back and just observe a Blood Opera and see if we can figure some things out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still debating whether just to end up showing up, trying to rush back and forth between shows and just say hi to the boys. That's been what I've been thinking. So a good chance to see them. So, but anyways, we'll see.
Do you ever leave them prank voicemails?
Normally we're always talking business. We really don't have time to prank each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Back when I get done, like I got one location, I gotta clean some stairwells tonight. And when I'm sitting in my cause that's what I like to do before I come in my apartment. Have a nice steep tea at Tim Hortons and sit there, and sometimes I'll just pull my phone out and like, yeah, let's shit disturb.
Yeah. See, I'm not a real shit disturber. I honestly don't have time to shit disturb.
Well, you know what?
I should start. Maybe it's probably something I need in my life.
Chris says stuff that, like I said, when I hear it, I probably shouldn't hear it. Like saying he was calling me and he was in the shower. I'm like,
yeah.
That left a whole barrel of voicemails,
Yeah.
Yep. There's all kinds of voicemails on that one. So, but I love the fact, he doesn't care. Here's something common with me. If it's in the yay hours of the morning when I get back here,
yeah,
I will call him up and I'll do the whole rooster thing, cock-a-doodle-doo. And I'll say, wakey, it's time to get up. And I will do that. I've done that a bunch of times just because I know he's going to crack up when he hears it. He doesn't always respond, but occasionally he does, so. Yeah.
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, maybe I'll add it to my repertoire with him. I don't know. Usually we're honestly too busy. We get on the phone and then we're like, it's like an hour goes by and we've talked about so many things to do with shows and plans and coming up with ideas. And then it's like, we really don't have time much to joke. So, which is not a bad thing because we're pretty creative, but it's, we just kind of talk business most of the time.
Yeah. Does Esther like your kitty cat?
Oh, Esther loves my kitty cat. Don't you? Doesn't she? Esther is she loves animals, so.
Yeah. Well, she's dating one, so.
Yeah. He's got more sleep.
Chris is classified as an animal.
Yeah, that's totally true. A dead animal. He's classified as roadkill.
Yeah, wow, I never seen outside Austin Powers. I never seen a cat like that before.
Yeah, they're pretty cuddly and they put off so much heat. They're just like little cheaters.
Oh yeah,
they're my baby. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so cool. Well, you know what? It was wonderful having you come on here tonight, and I wish you absolutely the best in your future. And
thank you. We'll talk soon.
I hope some point I hope at some point I see you when I'm in Toronto. But Yeah, I'll be there for Frightmare, so.
Perfect. I'll keep an
Yeah.
eye out for you. I'll give you my itinerary where I'll be that weekend, just so if you get a chance, we can hook up. Sounds good.
Yep.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.